if I called you
Right.
and your mom called you
Mm-hmm.
regarding an emergency,
Yes.
who would you respond to first?
My mom comes first.
Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.
Welcome back, fam, to another one.
Another
An
one.
Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins, and we are here today chilling. My wife is she's looking spectacular as usual.
Thank you.
She's looking amazing.
Yeah.
And
You
we're
look
chilling
awesome too,
today.
babe.
Thank you,
Nice.
babe.
That
Thank you.
blue really fits you. It just gives. It's just a rich color.
What
It
what
brings up
comes
your
to mind when
tone.
you see me in this blue?
A rich man.
That's the only thing?
Yes. There's a rich man vibe, the watch, the blue, your skin complexion, the
Mhm.
fact that the sleeves are rolled up.
Yeah.
It just,
Mhm.
it's time for us to take all that clothes off and
Let's get it on.
yes. That's what I'm thinking about. This is like, oh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that energy too. I feel the energy. It's getting hot in here.
So hard. No, by the way, the next church people have come through it. Anyway.
All right, guys, we are having a very controversial conversation today.
Yes.
It's probably one of the most controversial questions on the internet.
Yes. We are going to be asking, well, no, not asking. We're going to be discussing
Mm-hmm.
who comes first. Who comes first, dear? Let me actually ask you the question.
Yeah.
If I called you
Mm-hmm.
and your mom called you at the exact same time,
That
well,
means
not
you have two phone calls made up on
or
one.
no,
time.
never mind. Let's change that. If I called you
Right.
and your mom called you
Mm-hmm.
regarding an emergency,
Yes.
who would you respond to first?
That's an easy question for me. And you know why it's easy? The Bible says leave and cleave, right? A man shall leave his mother and his father and be cleaved, be joined unto his own wife,
Mm-hmm.
right? My immediate family now becomes my wife.
Yes.
So it means everybody else is secondary, including my children. And we talked about this on the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
When God gave Adam his responsibilities, it was to what? Tend to
Tend to
God's creation. And who also came in that creation?
His wife.
His wife. So she's a part of his responsibility as well.
Indeed.
You know, so a relationship between a man and a woman, as we say in Jamaica, it's not so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not something that should be taken for granted. And, you know, we're going to have the discussion, but it's easy for me. I would have to respond to my wife first.
Okay.
Have to.
It's controversial on the internet. I remember seeing a video once where a guy was going out with his mom and I don't know if she was his fiance or girlfriend, but he went into he went to the car and the girlfriend was going to the front seat, right? And the mother was offended and some argument started. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this video. Some argument started and he said, well, my mom has to sit at the front. I'm sorry about that. And the girlfriend or fiance or whatever she was decided to drive her own vehicle instead.
Yeah.
Because she thought it was petty that
it's kind of crazy.
She was being told to sit in the back seat because his mom was there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And a lot of men, I've heard it a number of times where men said, hey, my mom comes first. You know, and that is why I would advise women getting married to men who have that attachment to their mother. It's not to say that you're not going to love mommy and you're not going to want to take care or look after mommy, you know, especially when she was there for you 100%. But
You mean attachment or detachment from? What do you mean? Attachment to?
Yeah, especially when they have that attachment to their mother. You know, you want to be careful because that level of attachment where they're going to instantly say, oh, easy, my mom comes first, it shows something deeper.
But you know what that also shows as well? If a man is going to be afraid to free fall into his wife's arms or his partner's arms, that would mean that either he has real big trust issues that are not going to be quenched by any relationship, or he's chosen the wrong partner. Because or it could have just been programming from the mother herself. Most times these men are raised in single parent homes where their moms were their entire universe. So that's interesting. And we would call that the mama's boys.
Any man who puts their mother first or who outrightly says that my mom comes first, it exposes one fundamental thing, and it tells you that the mindset is not there. Where the married man mindset is, a man who is ready for marriage and ready for commitment, ready to build something with a woman, ready to leave and cleave biblically, as the Bible says, as the Bible commands, that man understand that when he gets married to a woman, when he's joined to a woman, that woman becomes his responsibility and she must be prioritized over all else.
Yes.
Right? That's number one. Number two, it also reveals a fundamental issue that a man with that level of mindset, not only is he not ready for marriage, but he does not understand what marriage is or what it means or what it should be.
Yes.
So those are things that that kind of mindset reveals, and women have to be careful when they hear a man speak like this. They have to understand it doesn't matter how rich that man is and how much he fulfills certain needs. You must understand that there will always be a void in that relationship. There will always be a need that will never get fulfilled. And the reality is, if that need is not fulfilled, it's room for concern.
Exactly. And the entire foundation of a marriage is built on the concept, the practice of leave and cleave. So without that, there's no cleaving.
Structure.
It's biblical. It's not even a personal opinion of ours or yours, but it's just a biblical construct or concept.
Right. And it doesn't mean that you should abandon your parents.
Absolutely not.
Or you should never give support to them. But you must know that, again, back to the purpose. Your number one purpose as a man is to attend to God's creation. And God's creation is all that he created in creation week, including the woman.
Yes.
Because he said, hey, I finished all of this creation, but there is something missing, right? There is a problem. And the problem was loneliness. Adam was lonely. And as a result of that, Eve came for the main purpose of companionship, not sex, not childbearing or procreation. These things are just a byproduct of sex being the covenantal seal that seals that relationship. So it's very important for men to understand that is a biblical structure. Your wife must be prioritized. She's a part of your purpose and not separate from your purpose as a man and your responsibility.
Okay.
And again, with your parents, it doesn't mean that you're going to abandon them.
Absolutely,
you
that's
still
clear.
tend to them. You still care for them, especially when they were there for you 100%.
So, in the case of a girlfriend or a fiance, do you think in that case the guy has grounds to say, no, my mom comes first, my mom sits in the seat? Or is it just a wife thing where when you are married legally, then the wife comes
That's when
first?
it comes in effect?
Yes.
Well, if I'm going with the biblical structure, I would say it comes in effect when she's made your wife.
Okay.
It's not to say that, and this is just my view, and based on the scriptures, if the Bible says you must leave and cleave and join to your own wife, it means that you must establish your own family. So that does not, it would not be enactment until that cleaving takes place. However, you must be able to demonstrate during the courting phase, not the dating phase, because the dating phase you're just getting to know
A
somebody,
bunch of people.
right? But in the courting phase, when you narrow down, it's still not set in stone. And in that courting phase, sex is not included either.
Absolutely.
You
No
know,
binding, no cleaving.
no cleaving is established yet. So at the same time, I would say, based on my opinion, I would say that there should still be some level of demonstration to show if you really see this woman, intentionality. You know, if you really see this woman as a woman that you want to really cleave to, you know, to build that biblical foundation family, then of course there should be some level of demonstration in showing her that, hey, when we do decide before God to seal this covenant,
Seal this deal, yeah.
yes, then I'm going to be here for you. You are going to become my number one priority.
Yes.
So I would say that there should still be some demonstration
Yes.
in that.
So you're absolutely right, babe. You know, a lot of men have a real misconception of what cleaving actually is. So we find mom coming before the wife, cousins coming before
siblings,
the wife's siblings coming before the wife, everything, even children. Coming before the wife. So that's not supposed to be.
No.
Cleaving means your wife becomes your priority, like your number one priority, as you mentioned before.
Right.
And the resources that you have, your time, your money, your effort, goes into your family before it goes into anywhere else. You prioritize that your family. And even down to the emotional energy. It should support what you are building in your own household. And this is a big one. The decisions that you make should center around the needs and the unique issues and the desires and the wants of your own family. Not based on anything that mommy
and daddy.
or daddy or your second cousin or anybody else has to say.
Yeah. What we need to understand is that every single human being was given the same command. Leave and cleave. Right? The fact that your mom is single does not automatically make you the son husband. And a lot of mothers have turned their sons into son husbands.
Yeah.
You know, where their son becomes the emotional and financial support for them. And mothers who do these things, and even daughters sometimes become the financial support of mothers, you know.
Yes.
And it's just wrong on every level. It's wrong. It's not good parenting. You should allow your children to build and create their own family. That is their God-given responsibility, right? It is not for you.
And an inalienable right.
Right. It is not for you to take that opportunity away from them. And young men who are growing up need to understand their biblical calling.
Yeah.
You know, to leave and cleave, and not only to not to say that only to leave and cleave is your biblical calling, but that is a part of your calling.
Yes, and if you have a mama that is not going to allow you, or she's just the type that wants you to be her son husband, you need to set up boundaries for her, because your relationship, every single one of your relationships will suffer as a result.
These kind of men who puts their mother and cousins and siblings before their wife, before their family, before their God-given responsibility, it tells you that this is a man who has not left emotionally. He has not left fully mature. And is also a man who's just not prepared to lead a household and still views his mother and siblings as his primary responsibility. So it exposes that deep issue, that deep fundamental issue that we expressed earlier, that this is a man who does not understand what marriage is. He's not ready. He's not there because he does not understand what it is. So women have to be careful when it comes to these men.
Absolutely. And you know what that reveals? A lot of people would think that, oh, wow, he's so loyal. That does not reveal loyalty. That is a huge red flag. It shows where priorities lie, and you're not one.
Yeah. And as we have said before, women need to understand that when a man tells you that his mother come first, he's telling you that, number one, you will never be prioritized. You will never be prioritized.
Yeah.
You will never come first.
Wow.
You will always have to compete.
Wow.
Right?
And that is so evil. Can you imagine having to compete with the mom?
All the time.
All the time?
It's a competition that you will never be able to win.
And you know the funny thing is, that's one thing I've experienced personally. Not the competition, but when we went, I'm going back a little bit when we mentioned about the word, the desires, everything. Nobody outside of the home shouldn't be influencing the home, right?
No, that should not be happening.
I remember experiencing that. If we made a decision that we are going to live here, this is what we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna send our children to school, it was always revisited, revised, and changed. Even after everything was set in stone, that foundation had to be dug up because mama had to have the last word. So it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and that's not loyalty. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah, and again, the lack of need is going to be there because that desire, that need you have to be prioritized, to be put first, it's never going to be fulfilled. So that over time will eventually break down the marriage.
Yeah.
And most women can attest to the fact that, they have found themselves in relationships like these and they are now divorced.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, and men need to understand that as long as you have that kind of dynamic in your marriage, you're not fulfilling your God-given responsibility.
Absolutely.
You are acting outside of the responsibility given to you by God. And once you're acting outside of that responsibility, then that's room for the devil to come in and play.
Yeah. How are you going to prosper?
And program. So men who harbor this mindset need to understand that. And women also have a responsibility to know that men who have this mindset will never prioritize you. And so you are signing up for a temporary covenant. It's not going to last.
Wow.
And that's my belief personally. I don't think that, I just don't believe that these marriages will last. It's just impossible when you think about it in depth, So those things are important. Those things are very important for young women to know and for men to understand. And it tells you too, babe, it tells you too that dating, go check out our dating video and go check out our courting video. It tells us that dating has to be more intentional. It has to be more in depth. It cannot be, oh, let's hang out, shoot some pool, we go bowling, we go to the park, we walk. All of this thing we talk about. You have to ask a lot of questions and you have to ask those tough questions.
Yeah.
When you're talking to these bunch of different people, just trying to get to know them, you have to ask those questions.
Yeah, it's like when you're doing the applications, they'll ask you one question 10 different ways. So do the same.
Yeah.
Do the very same. This is your life on the line. And there's someone who is going to be out there wondering, well, I love my mom and my mom is important, but I prioritize my wife, and they're struggling with that. There is some level of balance to this, right?
Of course.
There has to be some balance, boundary, and respect to maintain these relationships.
And that is why marriage requires emotional stability. Talk about emotional intelligence, and it requires emotional maturity. And these are just two of the milestones that we have discussed in previous videos, right? So those things are important. And if the man is not there, a woman just have to understand that he's just a son.
Mhm.
He will never be a husband because he doesn't have the husband mindset,
Mhm.
you know. So, yeah.
And that balance you're talking about has to go both ways. There has to be a mutual relationship where the husband is committed, the husband is building, the husband is pouring in, and the wife is doing the same. There's not going to be any fear of doing that when you know that your wife is doing the same. You both are equally giving and you both are equally losing.
Right.
So, like in that case where you mentioned that man had his money all in his mother's name
Mm-hmm.
because he knew that with success would come somebody who he would maybe fall in love with that would eventually want to rob him of all that he had. So he did that. So sometimes it's out of fear. As I mentioned before, it's out of fear, it's out of conditioning to be the
Yeah.
the son
That's
husband.
the entitlement kind of woman, the woman with the entitlement mindset. So she believes, and that's another discussion that we could have, but I'm not sure if we want
Yeah.
to touch on it. It would be interesting. But that's the kind of woman also that believes that the man works, takes care of the household responsibilities, everything, and she doesn't do anything.
Mhm.
She just wants to sit down and look like a figurine, practically.
Trophy wife.
Trophy wife. And I mean, if in reality, if you have money, you can go and buy a nice looking figurine and put in your house instead of to date somebody who's going to constantly drain your resources. So you have that kind of woman too with the entitlement mindset, and that's the kind of woman that just believe that.
And that is why men should choose wisely. Women should choose wisely. Women, don't find yourself going after the man that has not left his mother to cleave to you.
Right.
And men, do not find yourself going for someone who is not willing to pour equally into the relationship as you are. It's not going to be the same because men and women are different and we offer different things to the relationship. But it should be that you know this person has left and is cleaving. I have left and I'm cleaving. I'm giving my all and they are giving their all. That is the only way that you're going to see any form of success. And even in those situations, relationships fail. So imagine when you have a door open so that mom can suggest something
So the devil can
the devil
play.
can play over here or sister or cousin can. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You want that sacred space. And I've read a book one time that talks about the sacred circle that should surround every family. It's important.
And as I've always shared with you as well, that marriage is between me, you, and God.
Period.
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
So any
Nobody else made the
decision,
covenant.
any decision to share anything externally should be made between me, you, and God. Right? It should never be a case where the decision to share something outside of our marriage is one-sided. And just to end with this, marriage is a two-way covenant.
That's absolutely.
It's a two-way covenant between two different individuals and God. It's not a one-way covenant. And another thing, that is why we always stress the importance of ensuring that people do the work. A lot of people think that age doesn't have to do anything with marriage. We have talked about that.
Absolutely.
Age group, marriage, readiness, the economy, and the effect that have on marriage overall. Age is a predictor, and we have to understand that it's age and readiness. It's not just readiness.
Yes.
Because readiness have a lot to do with age. And with age, it also takes into consideration if this individual have done the work, because you can be 45 and you still have not done the work. There's still going to be problems. So you want to ensure that this person is there emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. He's there. He has done the work. So yeah, guys, interested conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. Women, I'm looking forward to having this conversation in the comment section with you guys.
Yes, what has your experience been
Yeah.
like? We would love to hear it in the comment section below.
Yeah, and from men too, I want to hear how many men believe that their mother comes first in a marriage?
And what's your reason behind that?
What is your reason behind that? So leave your comment down below. Our comments, like, share,
and subscribe.
And subscribe.
And we will see you all for...
Wait.
Oh, okay. And as we always say, guys, this is Unfiltered Heart Talks.
And you deserve this kind of love. A love that is honest.
A love that is safe.
And a love that is aligned with God's design. See you guys for another one.
Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.